That's what she was. Ain't no stopping what can't be stopped, homie. Yeah, but watch her unsung tonight. Stay here about a few more minutes so you can get on back.
Okay. So we were talking about what feed if lust is like a fire. What feeds? Yes.
Okay.
If lust is like a fire, what feeds the fire?
Okay.
It's what you see, it's what you hear, it's what you touch. We talked about eye candy. David said, I put no evil before my eyes since I can't get out of my mind what I see.
That's right.
We talked about when people used to call in the sex line.
Right.
Call in and have they would spend their check just to hear a woman talk to them sensual and sexual.
Yeah. Stimulating.
And then it is a high industry in the sex trafficking.
Yeah, brother.
People will pay for sex.
Yep.
And you got certain people that have fetishes.
Yep.
They don't even have. They'll pay to watch other folks have sex.
Yep. No doubt.
They'll pay just for you to touch them.
Wow. Sex games.
Sex games. Sex games. I met a couple that's talking about they role play. And they wear wigs and one time they dressed up like Scooby and Thelma off Scooby-Doo. I said the other, that is strange.
But did you like it?
I don't like it.
Just the way you move.
No.
I can't do it. Larry Blackman said, she's strange. Bottom line, it's okay to be peculiar, but don't be weird. That's two different things. Strange in a peculiar sense, I might like it, because you're different.
Come on.
And it can be positive, but when you strange and it's weird, I can't not like that. It's weird. There's something wrong. It's out of the ordinary. You understand? But nah, brother, go ahead.
Let's talk about some of the movies, the blockbuster movies.
And music. Okay.
And music that has transcended the culture from nations. Because back in the 60s, during the sexual revolution, America used to be the number one power when it came to power as well as culture. And when they broke out in that sexual revolution, it affected the nations. People were doing things in the dark, but when America had basically gave it a stamp of approval, this is when pornography exploded. This is when all the things that took place in the sexual revolution exploded. I think the first porn movie is like in the 70s.
I think it went back a little further now.
Back a little further.
Yeah, it's a black and white
it's a black and white
with no sound and none of that way. Just fast movement of trashy white trailer trash type of porn. In the early 30s, brother.
But the one that blew up was Deep Throat.
Yeah. I remember that. Or Debbie Does Dallas or something. That was them early 60s, 70s ones that really triggered it. Right.
Come on. And from that, it transcended the culture to where it made what was innocent now was tainted and it was acceptable.
There you go. That's all I was waiting. I mean, it's acceptable now.
I was with my partners and my partner told me about this movie called Unfaithful. And he said he was mad telling me. He said, man, what happened last night? What happened wasn't right. I looked at it and it's about this woman had a good husband.
Yeah, I watched that last night.
Had a good family. You seen it last night?
Both of them came on BET.
Good husband, good family, had a son.
That's right.
But she was unsatisfied.
That's right. In her own way.
Curious with this Italian guy.
That's right.
Got with him, and he blew her drawers.
Yeah, seduced her and fulfilled what she thought was lacking.
Come on.
Because she had everything.
Yeah.
With a good man. You was even getting sex in the morning with your husband. He kinked it up for you. Y'all was on the counter. He was on the countertops. And you mean to tell me even your mom's was like, I mean, she knew what you was about and what she was doing. But even your moms couldn't stop you from, what I want to say, partaking.
Yeah.
Or gravitating to this strong desire that was pulling you in from what you already really had.
Already had in you, because everyone has lust. It's a matter of you tipping the scale. Which one?
That's
natural
right.
lust, unnatural lust.
Ooh.
And lasciviousness is a unquenchable, unstoppable,
Right.
insatiable, relishing sexual desire that has to be fulfilled.
Burning.
It means to be burning, that has to be quenched. It means to be without borders.
Yeah.
She's supposed to have borders because she was married.
She was married.
She stepped outside of the fence.
That's right.
Because she allowed her lust to get past the thermostat. You know, on the car.
Right.
As long as it's in the middle, fine. You get over in the red.
It's burning up.
Oh, it's too hot.
Too hot.
Too hot for me. Gotta run for shelter. Gotta run for shade.
That's what right there. It's too hot. So long ago.
You were my love.
But that's what happens when you step out of bounds.
Come on.
The sister had boundaries. The brother asked earlier, what feeds, a fire like this? Well, it tells you what intensifies a fireplace is the more logs you throw in a fire.
Yeah.
A lot of times we tend to throw more logs in a fire like this. We start with logs like the internet.
Yes.
And we used to start with CDs or DVDs from Cirillas and Priscilla.
Come on. And magazines.
Yeah, they are going to go to that. We used to start with those small logs.
Yeah.
But see, now the log now is like one of them fireplaces now where you don't have to get a real fire.
Come on.
You just hit a remote and whole fireplace start up.
All
right?
access.
That's what lust is now. It ain't no real logs no more. You just hit and click and the whole fireplace come on.
I looked up, they got a DoorDash. They have a sex dash. When I come to your house,
that's crazy.
Bounce you real good. You leave a tip, and I go on to the next customer.
Bounce you real good.
We are out of control.
We out of control in this world that we live in right now, where folks have made everything immoral and deprived the normal now. Nobody wants to walk in honesty. Yeah. It has to be, no more innocence. Now, if a man takes a woman out to on a date now, not all women and not all men, we talking just statistically what we see it now, predominantly. If that brother wants to be a gentleman to her and her girlfriends, he a fag. He's a bum. He a bum.
Bruh.
He didn't make no move on you, girl, last night.
Bruh, if I teach my son to open the door for ladies. I open the door, these young little sisters look at you and mean mug you.
That's too much.
They don't say thank you or nothing. But if I call you BRTCH and call you all those things,
you loving that.
Craig, you so crazy.
Yeah, you so crazy. How you gonna call me? A band showing chivalry.
Come on.
In a respect mode.
And that's despised.
But let me call you out your name and call you every little thing I want you, and don't even open the door for you. And anytime, but that's what we tend to accept from a man. This my dude, this my boo, this my babe. But you don't want no gentleman though. But you want this type, women have belittled themselves behind the sex game so called.
Come on.
They've already set up, girl, I'm gonna let him smash. Your homegirls is asking you, did he smash on the first date?
On the first date.
They asking that.
Come on.
They have flipped the script of what we used to do. Now they doing it. Y'all, that's they saying now. Y'all can do it.
We can do it.
That's where we at with the burning bed mentality, brother.
Tyler Perry did this this movie called Temptation.
Yeah, watched it last night.
Really?
Both of them again. They both came on BET last night.
Bruh, I don't care for a lot of
me neither.
Tyler Perry's joints.
Like women movies.
Yeah. And anytime you comfortable wearing a dress for $1, that's prostitution. The oldest profession
in the world.
In the world.
And in the world, all right.
So I call it trick. You like trick or treat? Trick or treating is trick or treating.
Trick or treating is trick or treating.
Anyways, he did it. That Temptation was a good movie. It's about
it's a good movie.
A good brother, young sister from the country.
Another good movie.
Come to the city.
Yep.
she gets contaminated by the culture. She gets contaminated by the city life. She's enticed by this flamboyant, prestigious,
prominent
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Got his own jet.
Everything.
Got money.
Yeah, he there.
She despised small beginnings, and she crossed the line of scrimmage. Laid with this dude. Didn't know he had the vapors.
That's what he had the vapors.
He had STDs
and the vipers.
She had STDs.
Sexual transmitted buddies.
Sexual transmitted diseases. Social transmitted behaviors.
Woo. Okay, fix it, Walker.
Yes,
wow.
sir.
With
Yes,
an
sir.
unknown somebody.
Had a good man.
A good man. But he looked too much like a gentleman.
But he was too square.
I was just gonna say he was too square. You beat me to it. He was too square.
He's too square.
Too common, too basic, too non, what I wanna say? Too non didn't bring enough heat for the heat.
He wasn't gangster enough.
No.
He wasn't rough. He wasn't a roughneck.
No. Got a
Good man working 95, willing to work hard and pay his dues. It's a young lady named B. Simone. She used to be on Wild 'N Out. She did an interview with Nick Cannon that kind of blew up. She said she can't do a 9-to-5 guy. She needs an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Baby, 2 years ago you was broke.
Come on here with
Sleeping back cars.
Right.
And now that you done blew up, now you too good for a 9-to-5. But this is the mentality that's in the land.
I know.
This is the mentality that's in the culture. I don't know. My partner Otis sent me a video of a young lady. It was some rat. I'm sorry. They wasn't good enough to be rats. They was possums.
Yeah, possums. That's worse.
She said, "What if I can't do nobody with no 9-to-5? I got to have a. She said, I got to have a hustler.
Hustle, baby.
I gotta have an entrepreneur of hustle. Cause what if I had a $40,000 idea? Can't no man with a 9-to-5 support my idea? And I said, wait a minute. I thought about it. I said, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. One doggone minute.
Cause she didn't say she was an investor.
Right. Come on.
She didn't say she had a degree in economics. So, sister, are you telling me that the thing that you have to offer is your fachi, what's between your legs, is worthy of asking some man, give me $40,000 because I got an idea?
Right, I got an idea.
You done lost your mind.
It's been gone. Ain't never had none.
Gone.
It's
Dead
gone.
and gone.
It's dead and gone. This is your proposition to your exposition. This is what you want to sell. This right here.
Come on.
But you saying a man with a decent 9-to-5 can't support your 40,000. Okay.
Ain't that prostitution?
That's
Ain't that hoeing?
prostitution at its best, brother. Any idea, any gimmick, any trade, any occupation, anything you do sexually for money is prostitution.
The scriptures call them whoremongers.
Thank you.
Now I know
Harlots.
you think we cussing and talking cold, but it's in the book.
It's in the book that's called the Bible. Whoremonger, harlots, whoredoms is in the Bible. If it's short of virtuous woman, then it's a harlot.
Come on.
God makes two distinctions of women. He either calls them righteous, pure, or virtuous, or he talks about them playing the role of a whore.
Or the strange woman.
Or the strange woman, according to Solomon, who had 1,000 of them.
And he wrote the book.
And he wrote
had 700 wives
and 300
concubines.
side chicks.
I think that's Rick James' great uncle, because he was a freak of the week.
At the end of the day, his demise was great. Brothers, what we really wanted to say, even with that, we it's so many options we can choose from, but we even left out Samson.
Yeah.
A man whom God had chosen before he was even born to carry out a specific task to defeat in order for God's people to prevail. Given specific instructions, brother.
Yes, sir.
As a born to die Nazarite.
Yes.
Because when you study a born to die Nazarite's vows were, what we call it, they were extreme, a little more intense. Other people were Nazarites, but it was only a 30-day probation. Three people in the Bible that were born to die Nazarites. Well, not one was here from creation. That was Jesus. He was always been. He wasn't created or born. He was born as Jesus through Mary's womb. But my point is, Jesus, Samuel, and Samson.
Yes, sir.
Were the only three in the Bible whom had a life to death Nazareth vow.
Yes.
Couldn't touch nothing unclean.
Yep.
Had to stay away from this. Couldn't drink anything. Those three. Samson, to moral of my story, was the only one out of those three that violated himself.
His covenant.
But what did he? His covenant. What did he violate his covenant with, and what happened to him?
First of all, he was told not to get into interracial marriages because those type of women would pull you away from me.
Always.
He was told to never tell his secret. The covenant that he established with God. And it was something, Samson liked them freaky women.
Yeah.
He liked them Philistine women.
Yeah. He loved them.
He loved them.
He lusted them.
And he was a champion for Israel.
Yes,
he killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of a donkey. And the Philistines, being a shadow and a type of the enemy, they went and got his game footage.
Yeah.
They looking on his game footage. It's like, man, we can't stop this dude. We tried everything. Oh, we noticed he liked those Philistine women.
Right.
We found his weakness. They went and got Delilah. Gave her 300 pieces of silver. It wasn't no eHarmony.com. Y'all didn't meet in the love triangle. She was sent by the devil to stop the man of God.
Woo.
And she begged her, you don't love me, you don't tell me your secret.
Charming, charisma.
Charming like a snake. She charmed him and charisma and did all these things. And she found, the Bible says that she afflicted Samson.
That's right.
Now, read your script, read the Bible. I'll let you figure out what it means when she afflicted him. But long story short, he gave up his covenant. He broke his vows and his allegiance to God to the most effective, the most attractive weapon the enemy can get a hold of. If he can get a hold to a man, he'll start wars and rumors of wars and create evils. When he can't stop a man, he go get his most attractive weapon. And that's the woman.
That's one kryptonite.
And she got something that'll make you go, what I said, when you woo,
and he wooed him. And not only did she woo him, like Jeffrey Osborne said, she afflicted him, like you were saying. But instead, Samson laying his head
in her lap.
There it is.
Come on.
Brother. See, brother,
made yourself vulnerable.
When you be careful on whose lap
you lay your head in.
Because you will find your dread
on the floor.
And your vision what?
You got to go to the America's Contacts and Lenses. Because the man didn't have no vision.
Lynn Crafton. They'll do it in an hour.
Come on, man. Lost his strength and gorged his eyes out. Fooling with a burning bed.
Woo. An immoral,
woman. He gave up his strength. He gave up his vision. He gave up his God.
Gave up his allegiance.
His allegiance to God, laying his head in the lap of an immoral woman.
The wrong woman. Because he can lay, God, see, it's not prohibited for brothers to lay your head in a woman's lap. You just have to let God give you the woman to do that.
Come on, man. It has to be not a woman, it has to be your woman.
Come on with that one, Dirty. I heard that.
I didn't see this movie, but my wife said she read the book a long time ago. And it made so many headlines, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I know that's where he's going.
I haven't seen it, but everyone talks about how
Hollywood
seductive,
sex. Yeah, just Hollywood sex.
how sensual 50 Shades of Grey were. And everyone told me the dude on there blew that girl's draws.
Yeah. Hollywood.
And men, and to be truthful, everyone I heard promote this movie has been women.
Ain't that sad though?
Yeah.
Women the biggest supporters of something that's real immoral, degrading. Same thing brought me to the conclusion of these reality shows. It's a little sitcom out now. I can't think of the name of it. I wish I'd have pulled it out, but it's a black stripper show, and it comes on now. And I hear more women engage in this black show. It starts with a P. I can't get it, brother. I should have cheated and pulled it up, but it's out right now. Starts with a P. Something Valley. Yeah, I'm about to get there though. At any rate, it is the most condoned show by women because they are fascinated at the way these strippers dance on the pole.
Come on, man.
Women now.
Women are fascinated with other women
by the way they trick out these poles, brother. Not men.
Not men.
By themselves. Women more.
Women.
Predominantly more women are fascinated by the way she swings from that in the trick. Well, I just like the way she swing and how these women is tough with the way they. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, is this
what we coming to?
Is what it's coming down to, brother. This is what it's coming down to.
So the women are enticed and mesmerized by other women that's on the pole. Yeah. What's that movie? What's that gay movie you said that blew up?
Gay movie that blew up. We did talk
recently.
Wow, I wish that'd come back to me. What made me kick it? Cause you thought it was Brokeback. I said no, it's something.
I mentioned Brokeback Mountain. You said no, it's a new movie that came out.
Oh, it won Emmy and Oscar. Yeah. Bro, I can't think of that joke. Moonlight.
Moonlight. Where it done got Oscars for two men.
Two men, bro.
Two grown men.
Sickening.
Playing booty darts.
That's right. Sickening.
And it got Emmys and awards. So we got women excited about other women dancing on poles. We got men getting awards and being celebrated for men being with men. Isn't that Romans 1? Isn't that second Timothy 3?
That's that. That's reprobate mind. That's the base mind. That's 1 Corinthians 6, talking about homosexuality and sodomy. But God talks to me, but Paul quotes it best in Romans 1. He said, men doing what is unseemingly natural, leaving the natural use
of the woman, burning towards one another, receiving the recompense.
Burning towards. He said, even likewise, the women have done the same thing. So people say, well, it ain't in the New Testament. That's all in the book of Leviticus. It's not. Romans 1. God said, for this very reason, because they love creation more than the Creator, and they love the sin, I give them over to the base mind, means reprobate. In other words, you have no
mind to do right.
That's right, and no conscience to convict you to do right.
That's a dangerous place, bro. They had indecent proposal, obsession. Some of the songs they came out with was it was either Donna Summers or Blondie that said, Love you, baby. This was in the 70s, and at the end, she was high. She was moaning and groaning, and you might as well have been on the phone. So it was audio porn. Folks was getting off listening to how she was moaning, groaning on that track. Dina Howard, she said, "I'm a freak in the morning." Freak in the, she said, I need a freak in the morning, freak in the evening, just like me. I need someone who can satisfy me. What was the other song she did?
T-shirt and my panties.
I got my T-shirt and my panties on. Now, we talked about what feeds lust.
Listen at that log.
And I don't recommend you do, but those already had, you know what we talking about. We talked about what feeds the flame of lust. What you see, what you hear, what you touch. I got my T-shirt and my panties on.
Photograph.
If I listen to that song, I'm probably not gonna read my Bible.
You're not gonna read your Bible that night, brother. You might get on your Adina Howard video list and scroll, cause just to know who this woman is or was, cause by the grace of God, they say she's been converted.
Praise the Lord.
By the grace of God. That's what we leaning toward.
Yeah.
But prior to her unregenerate state, T-shirt and my panties on. is enough to drive you insane just listening, because you already have known who this woman is.
Yes.
This woman says, I want a freak in the morning, freak in the evening, just like me. We can boom, boom, all through the night to the early morning. What man is not wanting that? And then you picture her saying, if you boom, boom into the early morning, but if I go over there tonight, is she gonna have her t-shirt and her
panties on?
Bruh. And that might be in the daytime. She said to the early morning. So it might be any time you went over there. So now it's photographic to me, because I'm like, bruh, this sister here, I got to throw a log in the fire now, because now I might scroll and click on Adina Howard.
Come on, man.
Video tonight.
When
everybody is napping, or I got my personal time. But that's the logs that we tend to feed the fire.
This fire that can get so out of control that when your thermostat gets in the red, 200 degrees Fahrenheit,
it's heating.
Now, by any means necessary, I have to put this fire out. I don't have no time for no Denny's, no breakfast. I don't have no time for no dating and no talking. I need to put this fire out. So you try to find something that's simple, something that's innocent, sometimes something that can't defend themselves. Because if you literally was on fire, you would burn to a place where you would be out of control, falling all over the place, tearing up stuff. That's how lust can be symbolizing lust in the spiritual. You can be so hot, you're scrolling on the internet, you're looking on websites where you can hook up with folks and all that.
You chat rooming,
you're doing all them things because you on fire.
You Instagramming, you burning.
Come on, Nelly said it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, so I
gotta take off all my clothes.
I am getting so hot. I gotta take my clothes off. That's just the 8. Nothing keeping on. It's getting hot in here that we gonna take off all our clothes. The spirit and the consumption of lust. And I know people like, well, bro, y'all two men behind the camera. Y'all can't say y'all ain't never. We ain't never said we ain't never. That's why we're talking about this now.
I can tell you, like I'm gonna say, like Gary Harris said. I'm gonna tell you from experience.
That's Harris.
I'm gonna tell you from experience.
Already.
I'm talking about people on. They got hit with the fire. They got to put it out at the school. They got to put it out at the basement of the church. I ain't saying no names, but I'm a witness. In the back of a pickup truck. Side of a convenience store. A multiplicity of times in the back of somebody's back car, front yard. One time the police came up and all you seen was cheeks all against the window. I'm like this. When my mama told me, don't play with fire, because you might get burned.
I even got to the point, brother, where I ain't gonna say no names, but even in the back row in the movie theater,
come on,
so much can take place on the back row.
Come on, ain't that many people there? You on the back row? We paid $13 a piece. We paid for the room.
Back row in the movie theater to the car in the movie. I ain't saying no name. But it can be insatiable.
Come on.
Anywhere you want to throw a log.
Unquenchable.
Right.
Unstoppable. Erotic. Relishing. Flame. An appetite for destruction. Let's talk about some of the things. We're talking about what feeds the fire of lust. Genesis 2:18 said, it is not good for man to be alone or lonely or alienated or isolated or social distancing. From March to now,
already
all the rates in rape, suicide, was it rape, suicide, fornicate, all the rates that went up ever since we've been social distancing.
Wow.
Folk been suicidal because it's not good for man to be alone.
That's right.
So all this isolation, and here's another observation. I notice folk who are private and keep to themselves be the biggest freaks you ever want to meet.
Come on with that.
Michael Jackson, he all passer. How you doing? Good morning. I just tell T-Tone on it. He all mild and passer. He get on stage, he grabbing his crotch, humping all that. Janet has been my eye candy ever since Good Times.
Ever since Penny.
Love her.
Penny.
When I'm really, and it shows you the hypnosis of music.
There it is.
It just sounds good. When I start listening to her lyrics and some of her songs, Janet.
Boy, Janet. Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
We nasty. That's Miss Jackson.
When she did that video with Busta Rhymes, she had a bunch of rings on her nails. He said, "What are those?" I forgot the name she gave him, but she said that dick rings. I said, "What?"
Them dick rings.
Janet,
bro.
Janet is gangster.
Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson, if you nasty.
See, 'cause I fell in love with Janet. You're right. That's Penny. We all did.
Yeah.
Penny was our thing, but she became Charmaine on Different Strokes. That was Willis's girl.
That was Willis's girlfriend. Yeah.
And I saw her go from Penny to Charmaine. And then when I seen her go from Charmaine, she went to the Pleasure Principle.
Yeah.
To
Pleasure Principle.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she took it from dancing to anytime.
Anytime, any place.
I don't care who's around. Anytime, baby.
Any place.
I don't care who. Man.
It sound, man, that was the joint. But if you listen to the lyrics, Janet Jackson.
Janet J. Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson is gangster. But isolated out, talk all quiet.
That's what she, that's a good camouflage.
Camouflaging.
Yeah, that's
false representation. But you extreme.
To the extreme.
Because everybody got lust.
Yeah.
Question is, how do you manage it?
Okay.
Now, Proverbs 6:26-33 says, "Can a man take fire into his bosom and his clothes not be burned? And can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?" Instructing us, you can't play with lust.
That's right. That's fine.
Lust will burn you. I told you, I almost burnt down the whole block playing with fire. Play with fire, you're going to get burned. He says, can you take fire to your bosom and not burn that junk up?
Right. Can you allow, and it's not a literal sense. He's saying, can the passion, right, of this fiery
and sexual desires and appetites,
that will inflame
come on
you inwardly. Can you engraft that and sustain it?
No. No.
At all. Can you walk upon hot coals and your feet? Now you can look at that from a literal. How many people you know can just walk barefooted on? Have you ever
seen them Indian cats?
Yeah. I was gonna go there, but I was gonna bring it home. When have you ever grilled or barbecue? When have you ever grilled or barbecued and you didn't wait on your coals to cool down like we do? After you take everything off, you turn them over on the patio.
You burn that junk.
Oh yeah, and then decide you gonna walk on them. Why you gonna do that instead of just letting them smoke out? Why you?
Oh, burnt up barbecue. I hate that.
but why you don't, when you take that meat off, why you just don't dump them coals on your patio and stomp them out barefooted?
Because you know it'll set your feet on fire. You got that much sense in the natural, but we dumb as a fool when it comes to the spiritual. All these folks, nah, man.
Can a man walk upon hot coals and feet not be burned?
Bro, it was a sister that came to the church. I ain't gonna say her name. We're gonna be discreet. I ain't gonna say her name. But there was such a magnifying fragrance and attraction to her that it hit all the brothers with the same thing.
Heat odious.
Petite. And she said, I ministered, and she said something. She asked my wife, could I help her move? Mama was like, sure. I said, Mama, no.
Mama, no.
Mama, no. Certain folk, Joseph said, he ran for youthful lust. That right there, that would break up a happy home.
Boy.
I talked to 2-3 brothers. They said the same. They said, man, there's something on her. One dummy went over there to go move her stuff.
Broke his home up.
And they moved furniture. They ain't move furniture. They move furniture.
They moved furniture. The literal furniture was still in the house. But it got moved. But it didn't get picked up.
Come on, man. You have to be discerning to know who you allow in your space, because if you get too close to fire, it'll burn you.
It's gonna burn you, brother. Even if you get close enough to where if the fire don't burn you, the heat of the element will sting you.
The scripture says when the Hebrew boys was thrown into the fire furnace, it was so hot that the dudes that
turned it up,
it
got burned them up.
Now that's a fire.
the dude
that was taking them to their demise got demolition.
That's a messed up way to go. Now,
Come on, man.
They was ordered to increase the heat, brother. That take me back here, Bishop. Watch me on this. I'm gonna try to put the lab to the side because this is a fact. They was told to increase the heat.
Yeah.
And while increasing the heat, they had a demise. You talked about the movie Temptation, which I saw last night.
Yeah.
The other employees, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Looked at this woman's shoes and clothes all the time and hair and was like, how you gonna look like this, but you going out with this type of man?
Yeah.
She always talked about how underdressed, how raggedy, how non-acceptable you look. So these is other people around you turning up the heat.
Turn up the heat.
To get you burnt up.
Building her lust for the finer things of life.
That's right.
She lost her contentment.
Who she really was.
Right. And what she was given. You had a good man. You had a good house. You had a good family.
Right.
But you allowed someone to build your lust.
That's right.
For materialism.
Entice
for the cares of this world.
Yep.
To where you step out of bounds. Step out of your bed,
right,
and went to another bed.
A burning bed and
caught the vapors.
That's Kim Kardashian and Vanessa Williams. They turned up the heat.
Was Vivica
which is Vanessa and Kim
Kardashian
turned up the heat to that sister who was a plain Jane.
She didn't need no script. She was just being herself. She was a natural.
And they made her unnatural.
Yeah.
And became somebody that she was in the demise of what happened to her unknowingly. Until her husband had to reveal whom the strange woman was.
Come on.
And that same strange woman was the wife of the man you cheating on your husband with the AIDS.
Come on, man.
Brother.
Come on.
Results of
that combustion, that unquenchable flame that she crossed the line with, cost her life.
It cost her life.
Cost her marriage. Come on, man.
And her reputation. And probably the job and everything. And everything got burned in the flame.
And at the end, she went to the pharmacy that her ex-husband worked at to get
how she found out.
A prescription to try to sustain her life.
That's how she found out everything. And that's how we knew what had happened to her. But all behind a rendezvous turned up of insatiable, uncontrollable appetite, relishing that a person felt they had to, because it was only sex.
Yeah.
There was nothing else this man offered her
but sex.
And whatever benefits came after that was what he had in the cut. But the deal for even get whatever benefits that you had to burn in lust, brother.
1 minute of pleasure
can
cost
cost
her a lifetime of pain.
Pain.
1 Corinthians 7:9 says, but if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. Because the problem is that when you make a practice of burning with a bunch of women, a bunch of men, it's hard to reconcile. It's hard to, because even with myself, when I have visions of the first person I kissed. This is the first woman I felt her booty. This is the first one I had sex with. This is the one that we did it in a helicopter. You have all these different experiences and all these different geographical locations that turns into comparison. I want a woman that kissed like Kim, that have sex like Lisa, that can back it up like Meg. I want her to have hair like Megan. I want her to cook like Sherelle. And you got all these comparisons. Sometimes it builds this false, like porn. It builds this false ideology or this false representation of what a woman is. You think a woman can have sex for 4-5 hours? Now some can, but that's not the norm.
No, that's not the norm. That's a nymphomaniac. A lust demon.
A lust demon.
Adina Howard's ex said he couldn't keep up with her.
What?
Because of the overly aggressiveness of the insatiableness of a nymphomaniac.
She's
all day, all night, the man says.
So she wasn't just singing, that was real to life.
She was real to life, brother. And he says that. These ain't just songs with her.
Yeah.
This is who I be, is what she said. And you gotta be a freak like me, is what she meant. All day, all night, boom, boom. T-shirt and panties on.
T-shirt and panties on.
And that's her habitat right there. That's her makeup. And brothers saying, well, I know what to expect from this woman. But at the same time, because you knew what to expect, you could never stop it, though.
Come on, man.
You could expect it and anticipate it, but you couldn't stop it, brother. Because you cannot put this type of fire out with a fire.
Come on.
You don't have to put a fire out with a fire.
Put out fire, but
I've never seen a fireman
that's crazy.
come to an inferno or what they call it in California when
forest fire,
field fire. I've never seen firefighters
put out fire with a fire. That is the truth, brother.
That's what we try to do with lust.
You burning, I'm burning. And we're gonna trick ourselves. Think we're gonna keep it discreet. We're gonna keep it righteous.
Discreet.
We're gonna keep it cool.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go this far.
Cool. Both y'all, he's on fire. She's on fire.
We ain't gonna go this far. We ain't gonna let this happen. I know how far to go.
I know how far to go.
You don't know squat, because you cannot put out a fire with fire.
Come on, man.
Simple and plain.
Job 31:11-12 says this: for lust is a shameful sin. It's a crime that should be punished. It is a devastating fire that destroys to hell. It will wipe out everything you own. Now this is Job using a natural term to explain spiritual truths. What's shameful about it? Pedophiles sleeping with babies. It's shameful to make babies and don't care for them. It's shameful to have a good woman or a good man and cheat. What's the crime about it? Rape, incest, sodomy. I don't know if y'all know about Fleece Johnson, but he's the booty bandit. I love booty. Booty is more important than water and air.
Man or woman.
This is this a dude in the joint boasting about how he take other dudes' booty.
I love booty.
Fornication, I should be able to do what I want.
Yeah.
But you get child support. I told you about my boy with the 30 piece. 30 piece and no sauce.
And he'll go chicken go. Because he couldn't keep his chicken.
He couldn't keep his chicken in the box.
In the box. But he was
so he fornicated and had 30 kids and got put in jail for child support. That's a crime.
That's a crime, brother.
And then adultery. Cheating on your wife.
Or
husband. Michael Jordan had to pay $400 million in his divorce. $400 million because he couldn't keep his chicken in the box.
Tiger Woods
had to come
out the pocket for for trying to rock it.
Because he couldn't keep his chicken in the box.
A go chicken go.
He was a go chicken go.
A gizzard is what he ended up being at the end of the alimony.
So it talks about shame, it talks about crime. Then he said that lust will wipe out everything you own. It'll wipe out your families, it'll wipe out your relationships, it'll wipe out your marriage, it'll wipe out your religion, it'll wipe out your character, it'll wipe out your name, it'll wipe out your money. I'm gonna say it like I'm down south. Money.
That's money. It will wipe it out, brother.
And like Amnon,
I know it's the truth.
It'll wipe out your future because he got cut off at the neck.
You got cut. Let me elaborate on this in here. Your money behind the wipeout.
Yeah.
I've told men, and including myself, because I'm a man.
Yeah.
And I've learned this testimony. I share this with brothers when I talk about men stuff. We don't know what consequences it is for disobedience. We just know there's consequences.
Yeah.
You should know it, but we do it anyway, though, because we think God is, he's so passive. But I've learned this, and I've shared this numerous times. When a man is caught up in fornication,
Yes, sir.
The first thing I've noticed, and I've shared with men who was in 100% agreement, the first thing God touches a man when he's disobedient is his money.
Come on, Doc.
His money, brother. Because there's no other way you can despise a man than to mess with his monies. And I've learned as a Christian, when I was falling short to lustful temptation, every time I would disobey God, and I'm talking about myself, every time I would disobey God and fall into sexual perversion, God somehow, some way, would mess with my finances, brother.
Would touch your wallet.
Touch your wallet and deplete that mom. And it would make you feel ain't nothing worse than a man trying to date a woman with no woman to date because he has no monies.
Money.
And he had he kept his chicken
in his pocket. Now you're not even a go chicken go.
No, you just
that costs money.
That costs money that you have saw wiped out.
That's the truth, man. David, when he sinned, the sword never left his house.
It never.
And then he said, what you did provoked heathen nations to blaspheme me. So it's always a cost. The wages of sin
is death.
Is death. Death is a physical or a spiritual separation. You lose something.
You're going to lose something. It may even wipe out.
Come on.
Brother, there's a story that I heard on Bot Radio Network. A Christian pastor was single. But he had the struggle of immorality. He struggled, and it was natural.
His bed was burning.
And it was a woman he always wanted to have sex with. But he knew he just really couldn't because it would destroy his reputation and everything else. Right? So he was catch-22 all the time. Should I, shouldn't I? So he told the woman that was his situation with her. She agreed, make a long story short, cut across the field on this. This was on Bot Radio Network. This pastor finally kind of engaged with the woman and they both compromised with the situation. He was like, well, if we have sex, I have to wear a condom. And she was like, well, you're a pastor, so I believe since you're a pastor, you've been celibate and abstinent because you've been trying to keep yourself. So we can go ahead and do it.
Come on, man.
But you won't have to wear a condom because I trust, whom you are, whom your title is.
Yeah. This
one night finally came. This woman, he's always what we used earlier, Abnon. Which one of them brothers that wanted his sister?
His sister,
Abby or Ab?
Amnon.
Amnon plotted, lusted, desired his sister to death. Conjured up a relishing. This pastor conjured up a relish appetite for this woman.
Yes.
To where she compromised him on his status instead because you're a pastor preacher. It's obvious to me you ain't been really out here buck wilding. So to have sex with me, I can trust you without having a condom on. He had sex with that woman of fornication, And within a week later, something strange happened to his body. He started taking ill, started going funny motion. He went to check himself out. They told him he had full-blown AIDS.
Come on, man.
Full-blown AIDS, brother.
Come on, Doc.
So this one night of...
A couple of weeks later,
not the AIDS virus,
full-blown AIDS.
Reverend, pastor, full-blown. She said, because you're a man of authority in the ministry, and you're honestly telling me I'm somebody whom you would love to desire to have sex with if you could have it. I'm trusting you. Look at the Delilah talk. This man laid his head in
her lap.
He
trusted her.
He trusted her with her
to his own understanding, with a smooth talk.
Silky worm, soothsaying talk charmed him, enticed him, and he lived. I think they said he later died within months.
Lord have mercy.
Said one night
she knew she had it.
She compromised. She said, because of your position and whom you are, I trust you to be clean. She flipped it. And it showed him the word, he took the focus off of her and was like, yeah, well, I am, because I ain't been doing nothing, because it's you I've been wanting. It's you. Arguing, you're the one for me. You know, he went with that. And she said, well, I'm going to give myself away. And not in the spiritual way.
So you
can use me. And that's what she did. A couple of months later, he had to go see the doctor like Kumo D said.
Come on, man.
And after that, the pallbearers was taking him out.
He could feel it. Nothing could save him.
This is the season for catching the vapors. Brother wrote his own obituary. Wrote his own obituary and signed his own death certificate behind one night of a burning bed experience. This was Bot Radio Network, where these pastors on there give it to you straight, raw, uncut, eloquently. And I sat there and I thought about that. I said, look at the deception this widow, this black widow, this python, the venom that she spit on him and told him, because of who you are, I can trust you not to have.
And you traded in your lineage.
Traded in his everything.
Calling on your life for a moment of porridge.
That's for porridge. He traded
for a bowl of oatmeal.
Sold his birthright.
1 minute of pleasure cost that man his life. That's scary, Doc.
1 minute of pleasure cost him his, and it probably was a night that he probably knocked fire from her wall. When he got out of that butt, it probably had flames, literally, because he felt he done something.
Yeah.
This one now, from here on out, for me to tear it up like that, I got it whenever I want it. You can have it if you want it. If you want it. I mean, he went cool in the gang on him. You can, and it cost him his life.
Come on, man.
Not just going to the clinic and taking something for it. The doctor said, brother, you surpassed anything. You surpassed. You maxed out. You maxed out. And Brother Walker, I sat there and I listened to that, and I'm like, I was just saying to myself, Lord, just like I am now. Bro, what a way to go. But some of us saying, well, that don't happen to everybody, and he ain't had you gamble
with your life.
Brothers, sisters, look at the deception of the combustion.
Bruh, it was a young lady on Jenny Jones. I can't remember, it was Jenny Jones' son.
Right, Jenny Jones, yes.
And she was up there and she said the first time she did it, she caught the AIDS, and my heart broke. Because I thought about all...
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
You remember that? Mm-hmm. My heart broke.
Yeah,
I thought about all the hoeing and strowing I done done.
Come on.
And I'm thinking...
Hey, Holy Ghost.
I'm thinking, God.
Grace.
The first time she did it, she got the AIDS.
Yeah.
And God, I should have...
times 10.
AIDS, Ebola, syphilis. I should have everything.
Yes, sir.
And he spoke to me, he said, you don't know what I told her.
Woo.
And I shut my black mouth.
That's word.
You don't know what I told her. Because where much is given,
much is required.
Your grace ain't my grace.
Yeah.
And my grace ain't your grace.
And it's His grace that's sufficient.
That's
for us
sufficient for us all. I think about Jonah. When Jonah was mad, he wanted to see the judgment of Nineveh. God was talking to him all cool. Said, "No, Jonah, I raised up this scourge, and you murmur, complain." He said, "Why don't you just kill me?" Mm-hmm. Because it was hot outside. He got up under the scourge.
Yeah.
When he had shade, and God took it away. Why don't you just kill me and die?
Yeah, he hiding that.
I'm thinking how greasy Jonah's talking, and God is just cool.
He's still mellow.
He just mellow. Jonah, why you mad? Jonah, why are you mad that I won't kill 120,000 people who don't know their right from their left?
Right.
As rough as Jonah was talking to him, God was gracious towards him.
Yes, indeed.
And then there was a dude in the Bible that touched the Ark of the Covenant and dropped graveyard dead. Your grace ain't mine's, and mine's ain't yours. You better heard what we just said.
Touched the ark and instantly gave up the ghost. Jonah, a prophet of God.
Come on.
But hatred, envy, and resentment said, I'm catching the next thing smoking the opposite direction.
This the preacher.
The preacher.
What we see, he's full of what? Envy,
anger, resentment. And went the opposite, was the next thing smoking.
And a bowl of disobedience.
With a bowl of paid his fare. Dropped his coins in the slot machine on the bus, on the boat. Took a ferry boat and went down. It said Jonah paid and went down
to the boat.
Went down. That's just what happened to him, because he thought going down would allow him to hide himself from God, brother.
Elder Williams. Where in the universe can you hide from God?
Where can the universe hide?
Where is that club
from
at?
God, brother?
Where you can hide from God.
You can run, but you can't hide. I'll find you.
This is what God said about the burning bed. This is in James 1:15. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Right.
And when sin is finished, it bringeth forth death.
Right.
I think about the story you just told. Ain't that what happened?
That's that's what's happening.
Conceive in the Greek means to be captured.
Yep.
To be arrested.
Right.
To be caught up. To occupy. To sit in.
That's to dwell.
He dwelled on. He was looking at that body.
He dwelled.
I bet she was bad too.
Yeah, she was bad, brother. This pastor had to come clean and roll his dice to see if he could tell her what type of situation he really in with this member. Because that's already gambling on my reputation.
Yeah.
But I got to tell her this how I really feel.
He
set in.
His lust was a little campfire. He took his name, threw it in the fire. He took his reputation, threw it in the fire. He took the calling on his life, threw it on the fire. Took the trust of another member. We know that trust is a low interest savings account that's only built over a span of time. He took that, took the codes, threw that in. He rolled the dice, put all chips on red, on black 21, and he crapped out. I mean,
on his first
a couple of weeks later,
he was feeling ill, sick.
Death is on his back.
Death is on his back, calling him.
And we out here having sex like it ain't no AIDS, like it ain't no syphilis, gonorrhea, trichomonas.
It don't mean nothing. If it ain't corona, it ain't
That's the hottest track. That's the number one track on the billboards. It's corona now.
Nigga, we ain't wearing masks. If it ain't corona, everything else is passable, bro.
We'll wear a mask for corona, but raw dog,
we won't wear no rubber.
We won't wear no rubber.
For sexual fornication.
Come on, man.
All these illusions set up, but I'm gonna back up a little bit because before we close out here a little bit. Because I'm gonna get to the crib.
Yeah.
It'll get too late. Let's hit this right fast. Some of the influences of secularism. Let's just call these logs that ignite
logs
the
that
fire.
ignite the fire.
The first thing you had was the Isley brothers said, "In between the sheets, ding,
Now that was Ron Osley was my music teacher.
For all day. You talking about Mr. Big.
Mr. Big, Mr. Big.
Mr. Big said first he started with In Between the Sheets, then he got Contagious. He came into the house and heard that boom, boom, boom. See, that would have been enough for me, right? I don't even need to hear the moan. That bed hit and I ain't in it.
You come home
and hear boom, boom, boom.
Something's gone. I had to go up the stairway. All I hear is my baby's voice scream.
I could not. Not my baby's voice.
Bruh.
With the boom, boom, boom too.
The scripture said there'll be no ransom in that day. There'll be no conversation. All you brothers, listen to me. I got a 9mm Smith & Wesson. I got a Glock and a Mossberg. Stay out my yard, brother.
But before I go right there, let me say this. I had this conversation in the break room at work.
Yeah.
On what you just said. I had to share it with a Mexican fella. He said,
go ahead.
He said, because I'm going to hit you right where you said. Then we go with Usher said, making love in the club, in the club.
We making love in the club.
Because when we used to grow up in the club, well, we didn't club, we house parties.
Yeah.
We went to skating and all that type of stuff. Nobody made love in it. We did a couple doing the butts and stuff like that. And shake your thing. But now, they making love in the club. Women are grinding on women. Dudes is standing on the wall looking at women pull the hands of another chick and get out on the floor. Brothers is out on the floor that is getting action with the women with no drawers on. Bruh. Literally sexing, and folks is recording stuff now.
Bruh, when Tupac called that rape case, he said when he met her, that on the dance floor, she went down on him and gave him fellatio.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
It's too norm now, brother. The dude at a sex joint, I was looking at on the internet, a Mexican at a strip joint, got a lap dance from a woman, but literally took his stuff out and she literally let him. Had sex there, and everybody in the strip joint was clubbing and filming it until the bouncer seen it and kicked him out. It was ended up in a big brawl in it, but it was there getting filmed, brother. In the club, in the strip joint, it's literal now. Here's the sad part. I won't even leave that. What's the church? What happened in the church, brother?
It was a pastor.
Not another pastor.
It was a pastor. It's a lot of African pastors that's kind of doing the most.
I bet.
He's in the back of the church.
Witch doctor.
Doing some young lady. and she filmed it.
I've seen that.
She filmed it and
I've seen that.
Bruh. This joint, I'm thinking, you know, they're gonna show the clip. I'm thinking they show he bouncing her, man.
And she had a bouncy. Yeah, bro, go ahead. This pastor. He said she told him to do that.
Yeah.
She gave him the permit to go ahead.
Bruh,
I seen that. White House.
Bill Clinton.
What'd he do? What didn't he do?
I did not have sex with that woman. Yes, you did.
Sexual relations.
I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. Yes, you did.
If you didn't, she for dang sure had them with you. Under the desk.
And was blackballed for 15 some years. And she just now, last year, coming out with a story about what happened. She was an intern. He'd been having sex with her.
That's right, man. Bro, that ain't nothing. You just got caught this time. It ain't the first time it happened. This the first time you got caught. Say it like it really is. Humpty said, I once had sex.
In a Burger King bathroom.
In a Burger King bathroom. We got busy in a Burger King bathroom. This is the same guy that said, yeah, we the freaks of the industry.
Freaks of the industry.
I mean,
he said, do what you like.
Do what you like. I mean, it's just you like. He said, what's the pickle? Because in the 60s now, my humpy nose will tickle your rear. My nose is big. He said, I'm not ashamed. Big like a pickle. And I still get paid. I get paid by the ladies. You know I'm in charge. what is it? Brocom living
no.
something like that. He's still telling you. He gets stupid. He know how
Said,
to.
at a 69, my big nose will tickle
Your rear. That's it. He said Humphrey was telling him just where he was. His nose is big. Nah, he not ashamed, boy. Big.
And he was literal. He said, I literally had sex in the Burger King bathroom. That's what he was working at.
He meant everything he said. Do what you like. We already talked about Janet. Janet told him, she started out innocent and said, let's wait a while. That's what she said. Before it's too late, let's wait a while. Then she went ahead and answered it and told him, someday is tonight. Which you heard the other night. Someday is tonight.
I ain't never heard that song.
Boy, in the you talking about moaning and groaning on the song.
Come on, man.
Doom, doom, doom. Then she cleaned it up and said, we're going to making love in the rain. Man, anytime. Any place. Logs thrown into the fire to intensify the combustion, brother.
Miss Jackson,
if you're nasty. Because that's what we call her. Ain't no stopping. Can't be stopped.
I'm gonna read this, so we're gonna sign up. We're gonna pick back up. This is a series.
It's a series. That's right.
Of the burning bed.
Gonna be a good series. We just painting the canvas right now because it's gonna go get thicker as we go.
I looked at Backdraft.
Okay, that's cool.
Backdraft is a phenomenon in which a fire that has consumed all the available oxygen suddenly explodes when more oxygen is made available. Typically because a door or a window has been opened. The scripture talks about in the book of Job how a strong wind from the wilderness came and blew down his children's house and killed them. Doors and windows. All it takes is a little leaven.
That's right. 11 a whole lump, brother.
And 11 at the whole lump. All you need is a little crack. When you talk about that pastor, he had the knowledge to know that he was supposed to do.
He did. Put his head on the lap.
But he had been feeding that fire
with little logs.
Feeding that fire. You know that conversation was gangster. They wasn't talking about the Beatitudes.
No.
They wasn't talking about Lamentations.
No.
They were talking about in between the sheets.
That's what they were talking. Footsteps in the dark.
And whatsoever man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What he meditated on was burning in lust.
Yep.
He seen it, he pictured it, he manifested it, and it cost him something.
It cost him his soul, his life. I don't know if it cost him his soul, but if it dang sure cost him his life, brother.
David said, no evil will I look upon because that's a door. The scripture says corrupt communication doth mess up good manners.
It do.
The scripture says touch not the unclean thing. We talk about the three things that we feed this unquenchable, this insatiable, this unstoppable, inordinate, relishing, immoral,
deprived,
lustful,
degrading
appetite for destruction.
Because that's
called lust.
Because that's what it is. I know it feels good to us, and
come on,
we it's hard to fight all these curves and all this sexual temptation and this intimacy because we like the person we with and we horn in, our hormones raising, and we got all this sexual dances and all this stuff that intensifies and combusts what we're burning in. But the Bible says that the eyes of a man are never satisfied.
Come on.
So is hell and destruction.
Come on.
Never full.
Come on.
So we just got to look at the eyes being the window.
Come on.
To the what?
To the soul.
That's what the eyes is. It's a window to the soul. We gonna pause here because this is a series and we ain't gonna flamboyant and bombard with everything because we gonna take our time and walk through this.
Yes, sir.
Because we want you to hear from two men and two saved men.
Come on.
And two saved men with lust they've had in their life and lust that God has restrained.
Yes.
And lust that we have and continually yielding to God with.
And have to continually yield to God
with.
There's no sense of arrival. There's no apprehension.
Every day crucifying the flesh.
Doors that you open, you have to be a watchman.
Daily.
It's called governing yourself.
That's right.
Stewarding
Stewarding
yourself. And we like to have fun and everything, but we're going to give our brothers and sisters some tools on how to win.
How to win. We just paint the canvas.
Come on.
We loosen it up. We let our hair down because we know these are touchy subjects.
Yes, sir.
And people who don't want to really receive it thinks it's a judgmental, blasphemous that you're writing off it. But no, we're talking straight reality.
Yes.
To what you, and then at the same time, we're not going to leave nobody hanging. We want to help help folks to overcome. And we want folks to walk in the righteous. We want folks to understand that there is sexual relations done the right way.
Come on.
To where God can fulfill it. And I know it's a process and God don't move as quick as it was taking, so I got to get mad at. We know it's two flip sides, but we're going to cover all that stuff because the flip side with God is eternal rest. This quick, instant microwave passion of burning can be a 1 day, 1 minute great demise.
Come on.
I'd rather take my chances on trying to do it the right way after so long.
Come on. Because a minute of pleasure
Could be a lifetime
of destruction.
and consequences.
We love it. This is Elder Walt.
This is Elder Fred Williams.
See you in the next episode.
Already. This gonna be some, cause now we done already changed channels on.
Yeah.
Just about the way we ended it.
Yeah.
I see how sentimental it got towards the end. So that's leaving the setup for when you end